guys, so I'm the other half of said every equestrian. My name is Casey and I'm really sorry I haven't uploaded yet. Life's been crazy. I'm actually in college, so I'm really busy with schoolwork. And we also had a power outage last week and I didn't have power for like 2 days, and I also ride competitively and like in the middle of show season, so it's really crazy. But if you're here for my first video, I'd kind of do what Mariah did, and I'd also do a riding story kind of introduction video. So give it a shot. I started riding when I was 7 years old. I always loved animals, but like I wasn't even like a crazy horse girl when I was little. I wanted a dog really badly, and then when I was 7, I got a dog, so then I had to obsess over something else, so I moved to horses, and I randomly asked my parents if I could start riding lessons, and they did. I went to my first barn, which actually isn't open anymore, and I rode there for a year. I rode a horse named Austin, and I learned the basics. I took private lessons, I walked, trotted, I had my first fall there. My dad cried. After riding there for a year, I went to summer camp there, and halfway through the week I went on my very first trail ride, and I was so excited, and I was in an accident. I didn't even make it to the trail. I'm really short and I'm really small, and I always have been, and the horse was really big. He was like 16 hands, and he went to eat grass, and I was in an English saddle, and I just got pulled right over his head, and I stopped myself like this, and I broke both my wrists and dislocated my elbow, which ended up needing surgery and stuff. So it was a rough summer. I was in a cast all summer long. I got it off like 2 days before I went to the beach, and I was so excited. I feel really weird about staring at this camera. It's really awkward. But that happened. So I ended up stopping riding for a year. My parents thought it was like over for good. They hated it. They convinced I would kill myself riding if I tried again. But I was still ridiculously obsessed with horses. I went on pony rides like anytime I could. And then I was at a fair, and I went on a pony ride there, and that's how I met the barn that I rode with until I moved to college this year. So I was 9, and we met them. I spent like probably like $200 of my parents' money just riding ponies, and then they were like, bring her for lessons. So we went and checked out the barn, and then the following week I had my first riding lesson on a horse named Amigo, who would eventually become like the love of my life. I actually hated him the first time I rode him. I'll probably put a picture like right here, hopefully, if I'm able to like edit things, of all horses that are like important. I actually hated him. I thought he was too slow, too lazy. Like, I hated lazy horses. And then 6 months later, I rode a pony named Keebler, who like I think he's like the coolest pony ever now. But he like took off with me, and I didn't fall off or anything, but I was just really scared after, having that like traumatic accident, having to have surgery and everything. It's like not looking to fall off again. Like, I was really nervous. Honestly, it took me like my entire life to get over being nervous, and like I still deal with it from that fall I had when I was little. And then they were like, you need like a calm, slow, easygoing horse. So they put me back on Amigo for like ever, and I rode him for like 3 years. I would literally cry if I had to ride a different horse. It was like huge deal. I was so attached. Like, I loved him so much. And I ended up learning, the basics of like cantering and the basics of jumping, but at that point he was older and he wouldn't take me any farther. So one day, not my like main instructor, like the barn owner, another person put me on a pony named Flash, who, like, picture here, who is still like my favorite horse, pony, anything ever. I love him so much. I don't think anybody understands. He pretty much replaced Amigo. I was really iffy at first in moving to him. Like, I knew I had to, and I knew if I wanted to improve, I had to advance onto a new horse. So I did, and I didn't like it. I still want to ride Amigo, but I would ride Flash. And then my grandfather got sick and he had cancer, and I stopped riding again for about 9 months, and I started riding again after my grandfather passed away. I decided, no, it was time that's what I needed to do to get through that situation, and that's when I got really, really attached to Flash. I don't know, he just always made me feel better. He was just really happy all the time, really cute, and just a fluffy little pony. And I started cantering a lot. I started jumping more. I was really, really happy. Then I had a series of falls off of Flash. He has this awful, awful, awful pony trick where he doesn't feel like working. He'll just drop his head and stop dead. You go flying over it. And he does it over jumps and stuff. So he did that to me a lot. And I wouldn't stop riding him, but I wouldn't jump him anymore because I kept falling off. So I actually didn't jump up until a year ago. My sophomore year of high school, my 16th birthday present was to be able to actually lease Flash. And my parents paid for a couple of months, and then I had a job at that point. I was lifeguarding, so I paid to lease him. And I rode him literally all the time, every day, galloping on trails and stuff, bareback. It was great. That summer, I also discovered Lollipop. Would be a picture here. I had ridden her when I was little, and I hated her too, actually. She was like a lazy, bratty little mare. And a couple years after I started riding, she actually got uveitis and lost her sight and went blind. And she basically sat in pasture for at least probably 3 years. And that summer, we do summer camp at the barn I rode at, so all the kids would always ride Flash in summer camp, and I was like, well, this is boring. I'm tired of having a tired horse all the time. So I decided that I wanted to bring Lollipop back into work, and I worked with her a lot that summer, doing a lot of groundwork, and then eventually got saddle back on her, bridle back on her, rode her, just walk trot. That fall I got her to start cantering. She started doing pony rides, other people were riding her too, and it just made me really happy because I feel like I saved her and she saved me, and our bond is so incredible. I still could go to the barn and call her name and she freaks out and responds. It's so sweet. The summer after that, we got a new barn manager who got us all really into showing and competing. I had never actually shown outside of fun shows at my barn. And we decided to do a couple school and combined training shows. And I decided to take Lolly for the dressage portion. And we competed in intro level dressage at a couple shows 2 summers ago, and we actually won and did really, really well. I was really, really, really happy. I'm so proud of her. And she's still to this day, beginners ride her and love her. It makes me really happy. I love her. If I was to buy a horse, I would probably buy her just because I feel our bond is so strong, and she's not as old as Flash is. Flash is 24 this year. Also that summer that I started riding Lolly, our barn got a new horse named Flying Colors, which I'll put a picture here. She's really important too, except I hated her name because she's not a paint, she's not colored, she's a black thoroughbred. Her name should not be Flying Colors, it was stupid. So I started calling her Hope because she was pretty much a rescue. She was skin and bones. She still hasn't 100% come back from the situation. She's pretty much off the track. They sold her to us saying that she could jump and stuff, but she never saw a jump before, take my word for that. So I started riding her, just kind of working with her that fall to winter because Lolly couldn't really take me much farther than long trot. She's really unstable at the canter. She obviously couldn't jump, which wasn't something I was really interested in doing. Like, I always wanted to jump, but I never thought I'd be able to. So I wasn't really looking for a jumper, but I worked with Hope a lot that winter. Then that spring, another girl leased her, so I went back and was riding Flash and Lolly, and that's where I ended up showing Lolly in dressage. After that summer that I showed Lolly, I went back to Flash and was just riding him, having fun with him again. And last winter, a bunch of the girls in my barn, my trainer decided that we were going to go to do a winter series at Birchtown Stables, which it's not big shows. They're not even real shows. They're technically schooling shows, but a lot of the girls wanted to jump, and it was iffy on what I would do because I didn't really jump. Flash was older, like he couldn't take me very far. Then like the week before the show, I decided I wanted to jump stuff. So I took 2 jumping lessons and then showed the cross trails division, and we did really, really well. And I showed that series last winter, and it was fun. It was great to be jumping again, and I picked it up pretty naturally. I had done jumping before, but not a lot or high. And I was starting to do like 2, 2, 3, and I was like, oh, like this is fun. Like I'm gonna keep doing this. So after I showed Bridgetown, I realized that Flash couldn't take me any farther jumping wise. He's only like 13 inches, and I'm 5'3". Like I was too big for him. I pulled it off weight wise, but other than that, I needed a new horse. So at that point, it was like Hope or nobody. And I didn't like Hope. I thought she was kind of crazy and kind of just stupid and awful, which she was, but I didn't have any other option at that point. So I started leasing Hope, which ended up probably being the best thing that's ever happened to me riding-wise. She's really sweet. She's very, very safe. She's just stupid. She couldn't canter her left lead. She couldn't jump. She just crashed through everything. She was a disaster. Couldn't hold herself up. So we slowly started working with her, getting her leads, getting her over poles. Like, it was awful. It was a rough 6 months of working with her before it was fun. We started showing her in May in 2 foot, and I actually did trot my first course in NPHA, which is like a local series. And we didn't do really well. We ended up champion though at our first show because we were the only people who did the whole division. So like A+ for effort. I actually won something. The ongoing joke of my life is that I never won anything on Hope. Well, I showed her this summer, and we got to do 2 3 courses, and by the end of the summer I had her schooling 2 6 courses and 2 9 lines, and we would be doing really well if I had stayed. But I had to go to college, I had graduated high school, and I'm now at Arcadia University, and I actually live in a castle, which is like why I'm filming here. This is like the best place I could find to film. It's really awkward filming when you're in college, and I have 5 roommates, so it's like, can't film there. So this is the next best thing. This is like a piano room, but it's gonna work. So yeah, so moving college, I'm at moving barns. I left Hope, I left Lolly, I left Flash. I still go visit sometimes, and I rode Hope over the winter, but I don't think I'll be doing much more of that, unfortunately. And now I show IHSA, which is the Intercollegiate Horse Show Association. I'll probably do a video just on what IHSA is and how it's different from normal horse shows, because like a lot of people don't know about it. It's really similar to IEA for those of you that show or know what that is. It's pretty much the same thing actually, just a little bit different. So I'm showing English and Western IHSA. Western is like my new thing, I guess. I'm not very good at it. I just kind of pretend I can do it, but it works. So whatever, it's fun. So I'm showing each day, and I'm riding for a new trainer here, and it's really good. I found a couple horses I like. I mean, nothing like what I had before, but it's whatever. So that's pretty much it. I actually have 4 shows like the next 3 weekends, so you'll probably get lots of videos. After that, I'm not really sure what I'm doing riding-wise. I'm probably going to be done with my lessons for this semester after spring break, which is like the last week of March, I think, is my last lesson. And then this summer, I'm going to be a riding instructor at Camp Luhican. So I'm going to be teaching riding, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing there, but I have 6 weeks in between, and I'm not really sure if I'm riding or if I'm riding where I'm riding, but I'm gonna figure that out. I really want to ride. So that's pretty much my background. About me, I guess. I should probably tell you about myself. Oh, this is super awkward. I'm 18. I go to Arcadia University. I'm a freshman, sophomore. I'm a first-year student, but I have the credits to be considered a sophomore. I live in a castle. Like, not many people get to say that. It's different. I'm a psychology pre-physical therapy major, so like nothing course really related. I want to do therapy with courses for people with special needs or like mental disabilities. That's really what I'm going to do in the future. So that's why I'm psychology pre-physical therapy. And then I get to ride and play with horses, so that's like my dream. That's the goal right now. Other than that, I don't really know what to say. I'll hopefully upload again within the next week. My day to upload is usually on Friday. I'm just uploading today because I actually have a snow day, which is why I look like this and not pretty in the hoodie and the hat and the fluffy frizzy hair. Sorry, I wasn't getting ready to do a video when I could just kind of lay in bed and study all day. So that's about it. I'm showing Sunday now. We have snow problems, so our show got moved to Sunday in Western, and next weekend English, and then English again. So hopefully that will all go well, and I will be able to film videos for you. If you have any requests or anything, leave them down there in the description. I mean, not in the description, in the comments. I'll put links. I mean, they're supposed to show up automatically, but I don't know if they are, in Mariah's videos, to like all our social media, our Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that. Okay, thanks guys, bye.